In a heartbreaking case marking a new low for Britain's housing crisis, 18 students and workers of Bangladeshi origin were crammed into a two-bedroom flat in the Maddox House Council block in Shadwell. Most of the men had to share single beds and some even had to sleep on the bathroom floor. Tragically, a number of batteries caught fire last month, killing one of the occupants of the flat. Since the fire on 5th of March, the London Borough of Tower Hamlets has put up the survivors in hotels, but the support ended at the end of this week, leaving many grieving and scared. Several of the survivors said they paid a private landlord £100 a week because they couldn't afford a conventional home, by lacking deposits, references and salary records that landlords usually demand in an overheated private rental market. The heartbreak doesn't end there, as these men are facing homelessness just as the world celebrates Eid. To make matters worse, the London Council had received complaints about the flat as early as September 2021, yet did nothing to help these vulnerable individuals. Soaring rents in London are creating an even bigger problem. The average household rent of about £1,430 a month takes up 40% of the household median income. 732,000 households in England are overcrowded, with many of them forced to pay extortionate prices for limited spaces. One of the survivors, Namush Shahadat, was forced to live in the overcrowded flat, and he talked about the situation comparing it to slums in Bangladesh. This was worse than slums in Bangladesh. In slums you might be sharing with 2 to 3 people in a room, but I had 8 people in this room, sometimes more than 10. Unfortunately, the housing issue doesn't only affect those of Bangladeshi origin and is a massive issue throughout the entire UK. London's mayoral leader Lutfur Rahman launched an independent inquiry citing the case being symptomatic of a catastrophically broken housing market and the greed of rogue landlords that it encourages. The survivors all now need to find somewhere to live, with one of them saying there is nothing in the price range we can afford. They need payslips for 12 months and references from the previous landlord. We haven't got a place. If we don't get a new place, maybe the town hall is a good place to sleep at night. With rent in the London borough 33% higher than it was in 2021, it's proving impossible for this group of men to find somewhere affordable and safe to live. Hussein Ismail, a community activist assisting the men, said the rental market in the last year has gone crazy and they are at the bottom rung. The surveillance footage taken from the Maddox House Council block on the day of the fire highlighted some of the problems these people have been facing. With only one fire alarm and crammed corridors filled with dangerous e-bikes, it highlights the need for better enforcement for those renting out properties in the private rental sector. It's easy to think of rental issues as out of sight, out of mind, but that simply isn't the case. Everyone should have somewhere safe to call home, and this case illustrates the need for greater intervention and support when extreme cases such as this come to light. It's time to stand up to unscrupulous landlords, and strive for better conditions for tenants.